Karnataka commands 43% of India's IT exports. That massive revenue provides the foundational capital for the state to execute a major structural pivot. By 2030, the state government projects software exports to reach 11.5 lakh crore rupees under their latest information technology policy. But the next phase of economic expansion requires a move down the technology stack into the physical layer. The state is positioning itself to capture advanced manufacturing, specifically aerospace and semiconductors. That transition requires heavy capital expenditure. The state is currently targeting an influx of 45,000 crore rupees, specifically for the semiconductor and electronics sector. Securing that level of investment relies on a first principles buildup. The state must align physical logistics with financial policy to guarantee the viability of high-end manufacturing. Relying entirely on software leaves an economy vulnerable to supply chain disruptions abroad. By owning both the microchip design and the physical fabrication, India's Silicon Valley is attempting to vertically integrate its entire technological output. High-end manufacturing operates on tight margins and strict timelines. It requires logistics velocity, which means solving the chronic traffic and freight bottlenecks that have historically constrained the Bengaluru region. The immediate solution is the 32,000 crore rupee Nama Metro Phase 2 expansion. This project adds over 72 kilometers of elevated and underground rapid transit to the city's grid. Specific expansions, like the Yellow Line connecting down to Bhamasandra and the Phase 2B Blue Line running directly to the airport, ensure specialized engineering labor can navigate between major industrial hubs with minimal transit friction. The completion date for these major transit corridors is set for June 2026. That deadline acts as the critical anchor point for the state's broader manufacturing timeline. Moving people is only half the equation. Fabricated hardware has to reach global markets. The 262-kilometer Greenfield Bengaluru-Chennai Expressway is being constructed to address exactly this. Operating at 6 lanes, the expressway cuts travel time down to under 4 hours. This direct, high-speed access to a major deep-water port is a requirement for exporting time-sensitive electronics. By aligning the completion of both the metro expansion and the expressway for June 2026, the physical barriers to mass hardware fabrication will be structurally resolved. But smooth logistics alone cannot offset the extreme financial risk of building semiconductor fabs. Capital-intensive manufacturing requires state-level policy to mitigate upfront costs. This is the Karnataka Industrial Policy 2025-30, effective as of February 8, 2025. This framework serves as the primary instrument for attracting heavy industry. Looking at the investment categories, the incentives scale directly with the size of the operation. The highest tier, Ultra Mega, triggers when an enterprise invests more than 1,000 crore rupees in plant and machinery. For large and ultra mega projects, the state offers a capital expenditure subsidy, covering 10 to 25% of the total fixed capital investment. Alternatively, manufacturers can opt for a production-linked incentive, recouping up to 2.5% of their net sales turnover every year for the first 7 years of commercial production. The policy also incentivizes hiring through an employment booster that adds another 7.5 to 15% to the subsidy amount, alongside a complete exemption on stamp duty for qualifying projects. The state applies a specific 10% incentive booster for projects that choose to co-locate their research and development facilities directly alongside their manufacturing units. Karnataka is deploying a highly customized, CapEx-heavy incentive package to actively buy its way into the base layer of the global semiconductor supply chain. The market response indicates this strategy is working. Global firms are already executing their expansion plans in the region, validating the timing of the state's infrastructure and policy rollout. In his presentation of the 2026-27 state budget, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah confirmed the targeted influx of 45,000 crore rupees into the local semiconductor ecosystem. This capital is being deployed by specific heavyweights. Foxconn, Lam Research, and Applied Materials are serving as the foundational anchors for the region's new physical hardware layer. To supply the intellectual property required by these fabrication plants, the state is simultaneously scaling its innovation layer, focusing on artificial intelligence and robotics. This includes the development of an advanced robotics and artificial intelligence campus at the Indian Institute of Science, built in direct collaboration with ISRO. By placing technicians in state-of-the-art cleanrooms, the government is bridging the gap between theoretical academic research and commercial hardware production. That 45,000 crore rupee inflow proves the core concept. When physical infrastructure and financial policy synchronize, institutional capital follows. Karnataka is verticalizing its entire economy. It is methodically solving for physical bottlenecks on the logistics side and removing capital risk through state policy. The opening of the metro extensions and the Chennai Expressway in 2026 creates the high-velocity, low-friction environment that advanced manufacturers demand. That physical foundation ensures the state's 2030 software export target of 11.5 lakh crore rupees will be supported by a domestic hardware industry. Combining software design with physical hardware fabrication creates a compounding effect, drawing in specialized engineering talent and driving further institutional investment. Karnataka's roadmap is focused on building a closed-loop technological ecosystem that designs the code and prints the chip that runs it. For institutional investors, the 2030 pivot represents a distinct endpoint. It is the moment the service layer and the manufacturing layer merge into a single unified tech stack.